This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome everybody to the iRacing Esports Network and the World GT Championship here, presented by Apex Racing TV. Andrew Woodhouse, Anna Bath, and Alex Simpson on the cameras from the Road America circuit in the United States of America. Adam, round 26 is imminent and qualifying is underway. Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. It's a track that's got a lot of history. And one that could write a big chapter in this World GT Championship today.
Yeah, it's good to be back after a couple of weeks away. Plus, we had an Enduro a couple of weeks ago at Sebring 2, and we're at the Benz layout. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to work out. I think we saw a few drivers in practices getting a bit surprised when they went around the X carousel to see a pile of cones in their way. So looking forward to seeing how that's going to work. And it's a track that's fresh in our memory still after our attempts at it in the PSR, TCR a couple of weeks ago. I caused a massive wreck in that one. Hopefully none of the drivers do the same today.
Yeah, that was on the start finish line. So yeah, we hope that there isn't going to be another incident like that. One of the longer tracks that we go to, thus even after just before 5 minutes of qualifying of a laps, running just coming over with the first flying laps. Michael F. Docker is on provisional pole at the moment. 2 minutes 6.1 is the time to beat for the rest of them. Adam and Ross McFarlane, looks like he's certainly come to play today.
Truly has, yeah. Over the line he goes. McFarlane stays in third. Fletcher's just gone over the line doing a 206.249, and yeah, intrigued to see what Ross can do here today. Looking forward to seeing what he and the V-Racer crew can do, because the Teams Championship is still finally poised as we enter the closing stages of the season now. Not too many more rounds to go to decide the title, and it's been a mammoth journey. But yeah, we're in the final few races.
Yeah, final few meetings, and it's been nip and tuck at the front. There's been a few drivers with trading the lead in the championship. Camilleri, Fletcher, Docker, just to name a few, and yeah, they're all fighting hard to see who can become the World GT Champion of Season 6. And they joined quite a good previous roster of champions as well, Adam. We've had some quite big names winning it.
Yeah, Carl Janssen, I believe, is the reigning champion this season. Sure, but yeah, he is definitely a champion of this series, amongst many other.
Foggy has won this one as well, I believe.
Yeah. Just remember that incredible final lap at Monza from a couple of seasons ago in the World GT Championship. I think Dave Baker went from 6th or something to 1st in the space of a final few corners. Yeah, so we're at Road America today. We've got Catalunya next week on the 11th. Then it's Watkins Glen, Montreal, and Laguna Seca to end the season. So we've got a really diverse range of circuits. And speaking of Dave Baker, here he is over the line. He's in P7 at the moment. Is he going to improve? The answer to that is no. He stays 7th. But the top Pro-Am driver, the first name in red on the timing tower is Chris Wood, and he's got a handy advantage over Chaz Draycott. Good to see Chaz back, and we're now looking at Mark Fletcher, who is heading straight back to the pit lane as he comes up the hill.
Yeah, Fletcher was leading the championship. He's now 120 points behind after the events of the last couple of outings. So did not have a good meeting last time out, of course. Had some damage. Had to go back to the pits. Finished quite in a low spot, actually. Billy Fletcher coming across as well. He trips the timing line and goes into P5. So 206.4 for him. Chaz Draycott coming over as well. He is just about to reach the finish as well. What can he do in the Pro-Am category? Well, the answer is not very much, so I believe that might be just an outlap. Dave Baker with the green sector in the middle of the lap, Adam, and forging on in the Porsche.
Really is. He's down to 8th place now because of a few cars putting in a few extra laps. Barry Benn and Brandon DeBone just above Dave Baker in the timing tower, just 4 thousandths of a second between them. Remarkably tight there. Just looking a bit further down, it's reasonably close throughout that top 15, top 16 or so on the timing tower. Not too many drivers have set overall lap times yet. It is notoriously difficult to get a lap done around here without picking up an off track. I know that for sure. And especially with the bend layout, throwing that into the equation too, it's going to be even more difficult. So that's why we haven't had too many drivers set times so far. The ones that you see on the timing tower at the moment are the only ones that have done so. But they have still got a bit of time. They've got just under half the session to go as we look here at Ross McFarlane coming back into the pits. And now cut to the guy that currently sits on provisional pole, Michael Evdoka, the Tech Sense Fitztai Motorsport. And they've really come on leaps and bounds this season. Radical's online motor trying to push them every step of the way. And watch out for KC Racing Esports too, because they've been pretty good recently. Here comes Rich Warmingham then. A few purple sectors, a few green ones. Where's he going to improve? Or is he going to improve from his 10th spot?
BMW comes across then and goes into 9th place, so 1 place gain for Warmingham, including a purple sector in there at some point as well. So obviously got some pace in that XVR car. Here's Rich Kafenko. Jake Blackhall though, Adam, 2 purple sectors. The last 2 sectors have been the fastest of anybody through the middle part of the lap.
Here he is, going through Bill Mitchell bed now. Attention, oh, the car off on the exit. It's not F1, you don't have to slow down to observe that, so we're not going to have any Max Verstappen style penalties here, as here comes Jake Blackhall, car 97, over the top of the hill. Is he going to be on pole?
It's going to be a quick lap. It's going to be a very quick lap. 3 purple sectors. It's only 3rd, so the 3 purple sectors were overridden by a couple of sectors that weren't his best, including the final sector. That's actually what did it.
He's gone purple in the AM, so that's why.
Oh, is that why it was?
Yeah, the purple. Yeah, he's leapt into P1 in the Pro-Am category. As Jake Blackhall, stellar lap though, and he's 3rd overall, top Pro-Am as well. Chris Wood, 0.4 of a second. He needs to find if he wants to try and trump that.
Now let's see then. On board with Michael Evdoka under the Cheese Bridge, going down towards what they call turn 5 here. Well, some people also incorrectly call a hairpin. It's neither really. It's neither turn 5 or a hairpin. There's a spun car on the inside of him as well, a BMW off. But Evdoka on his merry way.
I'm in Bibby, not too sure on that one, but yeah, through the kink, place where, well, not the kink, but through the right-hander there, place where you can really gain or lose time. We're going to see the bend, I think, if we stick with this on board for the first time today, through the Sausage Bridge.
Yeah, the bend is an interesting corner. It's a chicane, but many drivers who've driven this circuit a lot sort of forget about it. But you've got to go all the way sharp to the right after the kink, braking down, turning in, and opening up that second part as best you can. Nice exit. Track does open on the exit, Adam, which certainly does help.
Yeah, but when we were doing our practice for the TCR here, which was completely irrelevant because we didn't actually race in this layout in the end, it was pretty nice to have the track opening up for you on the exit. If it was a really tight exit like, you know, the complex at Mexico City, then it would be a bit less favourable with the drivers. Keith Camilleri onto provisional pole as we now get ready to complete the lap with Doka.
Woodhouse goes third in the AM category. Of Doka, though, through the final corner, the drive up the hill. This is where if you run out of fuel, you're in deep, deep trouble. We might see that today, who knows? Cross the line for Michael Doka. Is it going to be pole? Yes, it is at the moment. Certainly, at least provisionally, Adam. 205.9. He's into the 205s.
Yeah, hysterically quick lap that one. Just over just under 1.5 tenths quicker than Keith Camilleri, who had just put the KC Racing esports car onto pole. Not anymore. He's second. Here comes Mark Fletcher. Can he improve? Yes, 206.027, which is exactly a tenth slower than Michael Evdoka. So the gauntlet has been thrown by Michael, and everybody else is trying to play catch up, and they're trying as much as they can. Yeah.
Sorry, considering it's one of the longer tracks out on the calendar as well. Fantastically close qualifying so far with 2 minutes to go. Still more to come. Woodhouse has set his personal best in the first sector. He set the fastest sector in the AM category in the second sector. Third sector was okay. Fourth sector okay. And he's aborted. Yeah, he messed up the. He messed that up a little bit. Your own Kaiser still on a lap. Barry Baird. Camilleri still going, actually, Adam. But is he going to abort it, or is he going to carry on? Some of these drivers, they've kind of
he's on a hot lap,
used up all their opportunity, haven't they? Camilleri fastest in sector 6. 7 sectors on this track for those who are new to GT racing and, well, the World GT Championship and iRacing. Not always 3 sector tracks. Here comes Camilleri then. What can he do? Can he go fastest? No, he can't, but he does go ahead of Mark Fletcher. He does squeak ahead of the Radicals Online car.
Ross McFarlane's next to respond. Green, purple, green and a yellow. Is it going to be an improvement for the Scotsman? It is! Pole position. By 18 thousandths of a second, V-Racer left it late, but they are on top with just over 20 seconds to go.
Brilliant lap from Ross McFarlane. Qualifying not always his strong point, but he's done a fantastic lap there to ascend to the top of the pile. Can he stay there, though? There's a few drivers still out there on laps. Have they used the best of their tyres? Adam, that's the question.
Well, we're about to find out, because it's last chance saloon time, because the checkered flag is now out. So anybody that's on a hot lap now can complete it. But the question is, who is? Because as you can see at the bottom of the screen, we've got quite a lot of yellow sectors. Keith Camilleri, first purple sector. You can see that there at the bottom of the screen in sector 3. We'll see if we can continue that. Mike Gray coming over the line, currently P7.
What can Gray do? Oh, look at that. All the way up to 4th in the AM category. Terrific from Gray. Camilleri, though, he's going purple. He wants that 1/10 improvement. And, he's bungled the bend. He's made a mess of it.
Oh, dear. Throwing in the towel there. That was our grandstand finish. Pete Harrod's on a reasonably quick time. Here's Dave Baker. A couple of yellow sectors for him. Will he be able to improve this time? He's going into the bend. He's got a big BMW in front of him. That's CQR GT's Pete Harrod.
Harrod's on a good lap. I wonder if it's going to help Baker at all going into Canada corner. See if he can get the slipstream from the big BMW. And Harrod with a personal best in sector 1. No personal best since. But he's just got Thunder Valley, Bill Mitchell Bend, and then the final corner to go. Gafenku's improving, Adam, as well. He only needs 0.4 of a second to go to pole.
Baker bails. Gafenku, it's a big pattern of yellow, green, green. But is it going to be sector that gets him onto the front row or something like that? Over the top of the hill goes the KC Racing esports car. Can he pip his teammate Keith Camilleri to P3?
It's going to be really close. No, I don't think there's an improvement there for Gafenku.
Might have been invalid that.
It could have been, yeah. Oh, well, it was a quick time, but not quite enough to. I'll see if I can find what the actual time. See if I can find what the actual time was. Yeah, invalid. Invalid. I'm pretty sure.
Well, there you go. That was a pretty exciting qualifying session here in the World GT Championship, and it results in Ross McFarlane starting on pole position. We'll get the grid up for you in a moment. But yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's one of
is.
the best qualifying sessions I think we've seen on the channel so far.
Well, they left it all really late, didn't they? Because just after halfway through the session, I think only a good 1.5 dozen or so have been able to set a valid lap time. And then they just came, the times just came in left, right, and centre, and got 6 different teams in the top 6 positions. Talk about variety in the World GT Championship, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. And see Jake Blackhall representing the AM category extremely well in 5th place. I think he's a bit good for the AM category, isn't he? Really, but to be fair, the categories were made when I think we had 60 cars racing nearly every week, didn't we? So I think you can forgive that one a little bit.
Session has advanced now, so we can run you through the grid. And it'll be a relatively short pace lap here, I believe. But there you go. It's Ross McFarlane starting on pole. Michael Evdoka, just 18 thousandths of a second between first and second. He starts on the outside of the front row. Keith Camilleri starting in P3. He's just 9 thousandths of a second ahead of Mark Fletcher, who starts in 4th. Then Jake Blackwell, the top AM driver, in 5th, in the top 5 overall. And then it's Dave Baker in 6th. Then Richard Kafenku, Billy Fletcher, Barry Bears there in 9th, and Brandon Tabone completing the top 10, just 4 thousandths of a second between them. Then it's Rich Warmingham, Chris Wood, Lewis Bibby there in 13th, then Mark Woodhouse, Mike Gray, Andy Shield, Ethan Bass, and Chaz Draycott, 2 AM drivers on the 9th row of the grid, and Pete Harrod and Miguel Freitas completing the top 20. Michael Blake, 21st, Matt Bunn in 22nd, and then Jerome Kaiser, the last driver to set a lap time in qualifying. Then after that, it's the cars that didn't set a time, all based on they're all seeded on their iRating. It's Simon Underhill in 24th, Ashley Blake Hood 25th, then it's Steve Burke, and then James Underhill going to be starting right at the back in 27th place. 1700 iRating, which I think is a little bit better than mine. My iRating is, it's 1870. Sorry, James.
It's just could one up to him a little bit there on the. Here we go though. Pace lap. It's not going to be a short pace lap, Adam. It's going to be a full pace lap here at Road America, which I'm sure he's going to really. It's going to really please the drivers, that isn't it? It'll be about 4 minutes going around there at that rate.
Oh, well, I was always told by Sam Fitzpatrick that iRacing always gave the road courses like literally no pace lap at all. But here we are, we've got a full one.
Some of them they have, and some of them they haven't. I mean, Spa starts pretty much at the exit of Blanchimont.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought there was a version of that. I could be completely wrong on this, but I thought there was a version of this track where they started the pace lap halfway around the lap. I don't know.
Maybe that's on the full lap.
Don't know if
it's the bend layout.
Because it's normally, Alex, it's normally Canada Corner, isn't it? I believe.
Correct. Yes, it used to be. It used to be on that sort of back straight section there. But I think what they've probably done is iRacing have probably updated the full version that gets run most of the time.
Yeah.
And just kind of probably
left it.
Yeah, maybe forgotten about the bend layout. So yeah, so we're still on a full one. So this always used to be a full lap way back in the day here. Anyway, I do remember it at the IndyCar. Doing full laps here and getting wiped out coming onto the straight by someone with net code. Everyone disappeared, so we just hammered it, flipped half the field. So yeah, definitely used to be a full one, but I know they have changed. So I'm guessing that's what it is anyway.
Just while we've got you, mate, just while we're on the pace lap, then I know you love this track. I know it's one of your favourites. What is it that the drivers are going to have to do to survive lap 1, especially around here?
Yeah, well, I mean, lap 1 is tricky. Obviously, lots of slipstream on offer at this place, so people will be making bold moves. So yeah, just got to have your eyes on stalks. You've got to be watching ahead. and behind as well, people will be going
Especially
for
if
late
you're at the
moves.
back. Especially if you're at the back as well, because we've
Oh.
seen how it can pile up on the main straight, and you've got
I
to
was
be
about
ready
to
to avoid it.
say, yeah, there are some places where you'll just bounce back into the circuit, so you need to be extremely aware. And if you hear the spotter say, you know, there's a car on the circuit, you do need to get out of the throttle. You know, you need to be prepared to stop in some cases, because
Yeah, you do
it
have
can be
another
a
pedal.
roadblock. Yes, yes.
That's it. Thank you very much, mate. anyway, for that insight. And the other thing is as well, avoid Adam Bath. That's a good way of getting around lap 1 at Road America. Sorry, mate. I realised you actually finished quite high up in one of the races as well here, though, didn't you? So
Did I get a second? I think I got a second.
it was a second, yeah. So, you know, feast
I've-
of famine, wasn't it, a little bit?
Well, yeah. After that, it took me about 2 race meetings to serve all the penalties I picked from that one.
To be honest, it wasn't really your fault, but hey, we digress on that one. Ross McFarlane then, pole position man. 27th in the championship, which must mean that he's missed a few meetings here and there. It's going to be important that he gets a good jump and he gets clear of Evdoka, because we know that Evdoka's quick in the race, and we also know that slipstream around here can count for a fair bit.
Yeah, this is a track that will really lend itself to these cars. I think we're in for 3 terrific races in the 20-minute sprint race. I think we do an official series race here in the TCR, and someone had spun on the pace lap before we even got going.
Yeah, final corner. Somebody had spun. Luckily for him and everyone else, he was at the back anyway. Right, final corner. After 3 minutes and 40 seconds of pace lap, I find it amazing I'm even saying that. We go green here on the iRacing Esports Network for the World GT Championship, round 26 of the season. Of season 6 of this great championship underway. Ross McFarlane taking the lead then from pole position ahead of Michael Evdoka, and then it's Mark Fletcher and Keith Camilleri following behind. There's a challenge for 5th place to Jake Blackhall, under a little bit of pressure from Dave Baker.
Yeah, 2 wide into the first corner, the first 90-degree right-hander, and it was they're still at it, aren't they, going into officially turn 3. Dave Baker still trying to keep Gafenku at bay, but it's still going to be CQR versus KC onto the back.
Yeah, here we go then. Evdoka, Fletcher, very, very close indeed. Side by side, this is Fitzstein Motorsport versus Radicals Online. Is Mark Fletcher going to take second place away from Michael Evdoka? It does not look like it on this occasion. He's got a good exit though. Evdoka has to block the inside.
A little bit of argy-bargy in the background, but yeah, you're right. The top 3 remain
Right
the same.
there, Rod.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right there. You're right there, Woody. Yeah, and going towards the carousel for the first time, and here is Keith Camilleri trying to get that 3rd position back that he lost at the start. Looks like everybody else has got through the first few corners without incident. The biggest loser from the start is definitely Rich Warmingham. He's lost 6 places already.
Camilleri's driven brilliantly this season. He's been really consistent, hence why he leads the Drivers' Championship by 120 points going into the last few meetings of the season. He's taken 4 wins this season out of the 25 races that we've had, but he's been on the podium 11 times. He's been in the top 10 18 times, and that's a big feat, especially, Adam, when you realise that, like I said, there were 50 to 60 cars at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, there are quite a few big names in that as well. The entries have gone down a little bit, but you've still got to get the points on the board to finish first. You have to finish and all that, and he's done a great job to make sure he's still in a shout of getting his hands on the title. As here we are on board with Richard Gafenku as we come around to complete the opening lap. It's McFarlane, then Evdoka, Fletcher, Camilleri, then it's Blackhall, the pram leader, and then it's this guy, the Romanian Gafenku, in 6th, with Billy Fletcher right on his coattails behind him in 7th place.
Yeah, McFarlane and Blackhall, unsurprisingly, setting fastest laps, of course, on lap 1. It'll take a genius to work that one out, does it? But down the back straight then, Gafenku pressuring the lead AM driver, Jake Blackhall. Like I say, it's a bit of a stretch for Jake Blackhall to be an AM, but he's certainly, to be honest, he certainly has enough bad luck that he struggles to compete for the pro category a lot of the time. really his fault. It's the old Australian netcode that is not his friend. Gafenko is about to put that pressure on, maybe put that to the test. On lap 2 here at Road America. Thanks for joining us here in the World GT Championship once again. Yeah, bonfire night tomorrow. Well, time for the obligatory fireworks joke, I guess. And hopefully it will be some explosive action here this evening.
Yeah, hopefully no drivers trying to replicate a Catherine wheel or anything at the end of this one.
There's still time.
Of course, yeah.
It's early days, mate.
But at the moment, it's Ross McFarlane that's definitely sparkling the brightest. That's definitely not a word. But Michael Abdoka in second place is hoping to put it out as he goes into Canada corner. Not close enough to make a move just yet, but car behind him, Mark Fletcher, driving for Radicals Online Motor, is keeping Abdoka honest, and I'm sure he'll be eager to get 1 or 2 points back on the TechSense Fitstide team as they go into the final corner. And we spoke about it at the beginning that this track lends itself to kind of line of stern racing. Just got to hope the driver in front of you makes a mistake, and then you'll be able to pounce as they come over the line to complete the second lap.
Yeah, and pounce, he might, Mark Fletcher anyway, right in the slipstream of Evdoka. Once you do get to the top of that hill, there's not a lot of straight left really. Blackhall sets the fastest AM lap again, 207.1. A few drivers slightly quicker than that actually. Oh, what's happened to what's happened to Blackhall? He's at the gravel.
Oh no. Well, we were talking about him and he had a great qualifying, but that's all redundant now. The reverse grid might come to his aid after this, but that is not at all what he wanted in the early going, and the Aussie is now down at the back of the field.
Aussie, 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 off, I think, is what's happened. How does he go off, though? Is it of his own making, or does he get a bit of assistance? Yes, he does.
Dear.
That was Gafenko. I don't know if that was Blackhall braking early, Gafenko braking late, maybe a bit of the both. And sends the Australian into the gravel. It's a big fight back now needed for Blackhall.
Big fight back and a long flight back after this.
Yeah.
I think that Qantas had chartered a flight, the first ever flight from non-stop.
Oh, he's going to the inside into the chicane.
He's on the move.
And that's Bibby having a look on Gafenko. Brave move to have a go into the chicane at the bend. Oh, he's right up his rear here. See if he has a go into Canada corner.
Good move.
Makes that one stick, eh?
So that's the Beamer through into 8th place. 5 places gained. The joint biggest mover in the field now is Lewis Bibby, and Gafenko's got Turbone for company, and then Andy Shield.
Biggest mover, biggest car.
Makes sense.
Biggest balls, well, looking at the overtakes he tried as well.
I don't know if we've got an award for that. I know in the BTC you have the award for most places gained, most overtakes, whatever it is during the season.
Yeah, I think there'd be a few drivers who'd be good candidates for that. On board with Dave Baker then.
Sound.
Baker just in behind Billy Fletcher, who's running the BMW here. Porsche engine. Good straight line speed as well. You can see him closing in. Is the former BSRTC champion going to be close enough to have a go? No, he isn't. Although Fletcher makes a slight mistake. Baker's on him now, Adam.
So difficult to get a move done onto the Corvette bridge. Well, it'll take a lot of belief as well.
Oh, what's happened to
Brandon?
Tabone? I think Bibby's had a problem as well.
I think Blackhall's had an issue, and Blake too.
There's a few guys in trouble. Let's see the replay then. Oh, it's down at the it's the corner before the carousel. Oh, and through went CQR car going through, was it?
Oh dear. Then,
oh, what's going on? They've all got into it, haven't they?
yeah, they're all checking up.
So
back with the lead.
Tabone was involved. Blake was involved. I think it was Draycott, you know, that got all those places.
Chaz Drake got to 17th place on his on another race meeting for the commentator, Seco Evolution driver.
Just so that you guys know, watching at home, looking at our timing tower at the moment, you might see gaps not necessarily being sequential. That's because we're showing you the gap to the lead in the various categories as well. So that's why you're seeing, for instance, Woodhouse, Wood, Warmingham, Harrod, Bibby, Gray, all strange gaps, strange looking gaps. That's why you're seeing 11 seconds, followed by 2 seconds. It's because Gray is 2 seconds behind the AM category leader. And there's the lap time difference, Adam, less than a second between Pro and Pro-Am, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think if Blackhawk could set a lap time, valid lap time, that might come down a little bit as well. So yeah, it's not too much of a disparity between them. There is definitely in terms of the iRacing stakes, which makes me wonder if there's maybe a rule on that. I'm not too sure, but here's the 5 per second.
4.2k for the Pro field and 2.4k for the. Don't get me wrong, 2.4k is still very good. Still very good indeed. Still more than I've ever managed on iRacing. But yeah. Oh.
Richard Warmingham has separated the top 2 in the Pro-Am category. He's now just got past Chris Wood, so he's up into 12th place overall, 11th place overall, 10th place in the overall category.
McFarlane still leads by 0.8 of a second, 9/10 now, but you can't quite get rid of Evdoka and Fletcher. You sense that Fletcher is being a tiny bit held up by Michael Evdoka. Just 0.3 behind him and closing in, look, on the back straight towards Canada corner. You can see he's getting within a couple of tenths here. Slipstream is very strong here at Road America. Through Thunder Valley here. Bill Mitchell bent into the final corner. You can see that battle from the rear bumper of the leader, Ross McFarlane. What's the exit like for Fletcher? It's not great. He will pick up the slipstream. It'll be into 5, won't it, Adam, I think? If he's going to do anything. Oh, Matt Bunn's crashed, apparently.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's not another spin for Matt Bunn. I think we've got to do it, haven't we? We've got to take a look at it.
Fletcher.
We've got to, unfortunately, well, he's not going to thank us for this, is he, again? But have we got Matt spun again, have we?
This is into the bend. Locks up.
Oh, well. It's annoying, isn't it? That is. When you do that, the car just locking up. Too much brake pressure, maybe. And, yeah, just means that the front wheels just cannot turn as intended. Baker's having a look now. I wonder if he's going to have to get a move on because Barry Baird looks like he's on the rampage, Adam. And here he comes, look. Looks like he's going to mug him into the right, into left-hander at the Corvette bridge, and he has. Look, the BMW's through.
Good move.
Great.
Can he make a response? I was just saying it takes incredible bravery to get a move done under the Corvette bridge. BMW is. Oh, I said he was about to leave Baker, but he's made a bit of an error there before going under the sausage bridge into the carousel, and now the Porsche is right back on the boot lid of the BMW.
I wonder if Baker's going to have a go into the chicane here, setting him up. He might have a lunge. Thought he might have been using his touring car expertise from his career in the front wheel drive cars to sidle his way past Barry Baird, but on this occasion, and so Baird's overtakes Sticks. BMW is up into 6th position. We haven't looked at Mark Woodhouse actually, leading the AM category. 4 positions gained for him, and yeah, he's been having a great run. He's 0.8 of a second ahead of Chris Wood. Now, Richard Warmingham is in there for position, Adam, as well. So Woodhouse is actually running in 10th place on the road. But leading the AM category, Warmingham is 11th. 10th in the category. That's what you can see in the battle box. Warmingham going through on Woodhouse. Now, might be important for Chris Wood, although he's a teammate of Mark Woodhouse. If he wants the AM category win, Adam, he might have to use this opportunity to try and get a move done.
Yeah, this is quite intriguing, really, because Team Mad can't afford to fall over themselves because CQR GT's Peter Harrod is right behind them too, and he has got a decent run as Harrod on the exit of turn 2 onto the back straight. It looks like he might try and separate the two Team Mad cars here. He's looking at the inside of Chris Wood going into the 90 left at the end of the straight.
Yeah, Wood was slowed a little bit, wasn't he, through turn 2. And here's Harrod through. Indeed he is. So Pete Harrod setting him up, knocking him down. 7 positions gained for him, started 19. Into P12. Andy Shields also gained 7 spots. Into 9th. He's got good pace in the Sim Sports Racing USA car. So Jeroen Keiser's crashed, the Dutchman. Well, I don't know if he... well, he's down in 20th. Is Keiser.
Sure have taken place there. Jake Blackwell's the man on the move. He's just passed Matt Bunn, so he's up to 21st place now. Sorry, 22nd place now. So the Aussie might be in with a shout of one of the smaller reverse grids that we've got at the end of the opening race meeting. We'll have 2 of today. If you're new to the series, as always, smash that like button, and yeah, we have reversed grids in this series. So at the end of race 1 and race 2, we'll get the Wheel of Fortune up, and we'll see who's going to be on pole.
Indeed, and I tell you, it's going to be important because, you know, overtaking, I wouldn't call it easy here. I'd say it's sort of, to use the F1 sort of slight nonsense, I'd say sort of medium difficulty overtaking around here, but it's mostly because the cars can run side by side for quite some time in certain corners as well.
Yeah, it is a track that lends itself to that. We've seen that so far today with Baker and Gafenku as an example of that, especially through this opening sector. You can easily run wheel to wheel with your opponents by a few corners.
Saw it a lot in the TCR World Super Radio. The side-by-side action was pretty unforgiving. McFarlane going slightly off, not really losing any time to Udoka there. Baker versus Baird, and Baker's back up in 6th place. We know how much he covets that 6th place, Dave Baker does. He wasn't going to let Barry Baird take that away from him for long. Miguel Freitas not having such a wonderful time of it. He's been overtaken for 18th place by Ethan Bass.
Yeah,
so yeah, Freitas, who's normally been very fast in the last number of rounds, actually 13th in the championship, is languishing slightly in this race.
Yeah, Fast Freitas down in 19th. He's got Bass just in front of him now. So up to 18th has gone the Scotsman, car 19. Got 3.5 minutes to go here around one of the longest circuits on the calendar. So when we get back to the line, there's not going to be long left.
McFarlane's lost a second.
Yeah, he's been off the track somewhere. We can see that on the event viewer. Maybe a replay might shed some light on why the gap's down to half a second.
Here's the battle then. And this is how Ross McFarlane's lead evaporates. Is he going to make a mistake at the bottom of the hill, Adam? It's looking likely.
Gonna be able to tell for some reason I can't see it.
Oh, big twitch. Massive twitch as he hit the brakes. The rear just went away from him. He had to gather it all up. He had to correct it. And meant that he had to take to the runoff area. So, yeah, McFarlane not out of the woods yet. If he does lose this race, that's going to be the moment that it happened. Still got a lap and a half to go. Well over a lap and a half, actually, for McFarlane. Look at Fletcher. Look at the straight line speed here. Ferrari versus Ferrari. Udoka defends the middle of the track. Fletcher gets a good exit. So does Udoka, though. It's not a bad one. And unless he has an absolute dive on him. Fletcher is ahead of Evdoka in the championship as well, Adam, and at the moment he's ahead of Camilleri as well in this race. Oh, Woodhouse has gone.
Down to third, isn't he? He's down to third.
Woodhouse has lost the lead, and now Mike Gray's taken the lead. Now Chris Wood is off. What's going on in the AM category? Goodness me.
Oh no! Well, let's have a look at what happened to Chris. Oh, well,
There goes Woodhouse. Woodhouse off onto the. He made the same error that McFarlane made. Now Wood loses the rear. Oh my goodness! How did everyone miss him?
That is a fantastic bit of spin recovery there by Chris Wood. He could have got on the anchors and put the car in the middle of the circuit, but no, he let the car go off and he managed to get back on the circuit again. Granted, it has made him lose a lot of time. He's down to 22nd place. He's right with Blackhorn now.
So that's put Mike Gray up to the lead for XVR in the AM category. Woodhouse second, Draycott in third, Bass fourth. Now Kaiser up into fifth. So unbelievable as Andy Shields' internet, I think, is giving him some trouble as he keeps disappearing off the timing screen. But this battle for second still rages on. Michael Evdoka onto the final lap of the race then is closer than he's ever been to Mark Fletcher is closer than he's ever been to Michael Evdoka.
And in turn, Evdoka's as close as he's ever been to Ross McFarlane too. So that concertina that we wound up at the beginning of the race, it's all coming back together again. And a good exit there by Fletcher. That might give him an opportunity to get by Evdoka into the left-hand at the end of the straight, but the TechSense Fitside car really is picking up a toe off the V-Racer car, which isn't helping.
He's getting a great slipstream off of McFarlane. McFarlane, you see, that's good driving. He could have very, very easily defended fresh air then in the middle of the circuit. But he stayed his line. He knew that there wasn't a move coming from Evdoka, and now half a second clear. Half a lap to go. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tense. I think could be fairly comfortable for McFarlane, Adam, but has he got the fuel? Have they all got the fuel? You would think after that this is the worst track to run out on, so you would imagine they've all prepared adequately.
You'd have thought so in the series that we run on a Sunday night, but
it wasn't. You came around the final corner and 3 or 4 cars strewn on the side of the road.
Yeah, it was the same at Road Atlanta, except some finish line at Road Atlanta is almost completely different to the one here. It's a downhill finish there, and it's a uphill finish here. Let's see.
Very uphill finish here.
Oh, it's... yeah. It's a huge hill.
And it is a huge hill to die on if you've got no fuel. Now here we go. McFarlane through the final corner. Does he have enough fuel then to make it to the checkered flag? In front he does. So round 26 of season 6 of the World GT Championship goes to Ross McFarlane. Evdoka second, Fletcher third, Camilleri in fourth, and Billy Fletcher in fifth, Adam. And very close behind. Look at that, 1,000.
Really close finish there. Here comes the AM winner. It's Mike Gray. And I don't think he was thinking that about a lap or so ago. Oh, look at this.
Oh, hello.
They're all over the place. It's Mark Woodhouse that gets second in the AM category, and on the final step of the podium, on the final step and getting a bit of the bubbly is Chaz Draycott.
Oh, bubbly. Yes, Chaz will be happy with that. Mr. Chaslington himself. P3. Ethan Bass in fourth. Nice work. Your own Kaiser up in fifth as well.
Just waiting for 1 or 2 cars to finish. I think it's just Matt Bunn that we're waiting on before we get the finishing results up on the screen.
Road America, just still a fantastic place to go racing though, Adam. We always see thrills and spills here.
Oh, definitely. And I think race 2 and race 3 are going to be even more entertaining than this one. They have finished now, so I think we can get the results on the screen.
Yeah, do not go anywhere, by the way, on the Esports Network, because 2 more rounds to go. Sorry, Adam, take it away.
Take it away, yeah. Ross McFarlane wins the race. Michael Evdoka in second. Mark Fletcher in third. Then Keith Camilleri in fourth. Fifth for Billy Fletcher. Dave Baker in his customary 6th place. There's Barry Baird, Richard Gafenku in 8th. car 007, Andy Shield in 9th, and Rich Warmingham completing the top 10. Pete Harrod finishes in 11th place in the end. 12th, top of the AMS for Mike Gray, and then Mark Woodhouse just behind him, 2nd place in class, 13th overall. Brandon Tabone then in 14th, then Lewis Bibby, Chaz Draycott, final podium step in the AM category there in 16th, and then Ethan Bass, who had made a good comeback through the field, finishing in 17th place. Miguel Freitas in 18th, Sharon Kaiser 19th, and then his teammate Michael Blake in 20th. Then the cars had issues during the race, really. Jake Blackwell off in the gravel at turn 2. He recovered to finish in 21st. Chris Wood off in the gravel after the Corvette Bridge. He managed to finish in 22nd. Simon Underhill 23rd. Then Matt Bunn, we saw the issues he had at the bend. And then the cars that basically didn't start. Ashley Blake Hood, Steve Burke, and 27th was James Underhill. Neither of them took the start for the opening race of the day. So that's how they finished. And now we bring in Alex and get the reverse grid wheel up. We'll find out who's going to be on pole for round 27 of the season.
Yep. Hello. Right. Where's the wheel when you need it?
Didn't catch you by surprise at all there, mate, did we?
No, not at all. So, right. Can I just say as well, like, just for if we do another season, like, the Euro V8s guys have got this weird double spin wheel. So like one wheel. Yeah, exactly. The outside spins and then the inside is like a negative number, so it counts back. So, so you can have like, so it can be like 25 minus 3 to get 22.
Oh, well, we could have a look at that.
So that is like absolutely what we need for next season, I think. So do go, check out one of the streams there for that. But anyway,
crazier the better, I think.
There we go. Let me bring in the sound and let's give this a spin and see who's going to be on the pole. It won't spin. There we go.
What we need is a wheel that spins.
And did a full 360 and ended back on 20th.
There you
Michael
go.
Blake then. And it's a Sim-Auto front row.
Yes. Hey, well, he'll be happy with that. Get some airtime for Michael Blake and your own Kaiser. Miguel Freitas, well, we spoke about him in race one. He'll have a chance to get a good result in 3rd. Ethan Bass is 4th, and then Chaz Draycott will round out the top 5. So really intriguing top 5 going into race 2 of the evening here on the iRacing Esports Network as the World GT Championship continues here.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Coming for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And we're back on the iRacing Esports Network. We're at Elkhart Lake, Road America in Wisconsin for the latest installment of the World GT Championship. Next week we head to Iberia to Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona. Today we are in North America and looking forward to what we've got on our hands in race 2 here. Adam Bath and Andrew Woodhouse in the commentary box for this one. We've got a relatively decent sized reverse grid for this, and Small Time Immortal will be looking forward to the start because they've got 2 cars on the front row. And I thought I'd just use this occasion to say well done to Paul Smith. I did see he did his 24-hour live gaming stream for charity during the weekend and raised a fair bit of dough. So good job from him.
Amazing effort, really amazing effort. Well done, Paul, and yeah, very proud of you for that one. Very good. And also his team, Immortal Smile Time. Well, like you say, they look out the front row here, and they'll be looking for a clean start, Adam, in order to really.
Yeah, they're starting first and second for this one, and it's all going to be about how they orchestrate the start. We saw in race 1 it was done pretty well, and that was just with that was 2 drivers that weren't even teammates sorting it out, so they didn't lose any time there at all. Starting grid is on the screen then for this one, and don't forget, is another full pace lap, so we can take our time with this. It is Michael Blake, as we've mentioned, on the front row of the grid. Jerome Kaiser starting in second, winner of one of the most crazy Kia races we've done, covered on this channel, starting in second. I remember they were side by side for about tons of laps. It was crazy. It was a great race, that one. I think he just lost it by a couple of thousandths of a second, or won it by a couple of thousandths. Not too sure on that one. Miguel Freitas in P3. Then it's Ethan Bass in 4th. 5th, Chaz Jaycott, Lewis Bibby in 6th. Then it's Brandon Tabone, Mark Woodhouse in 8th, Mike Gray in 9th, and Pete Harrod completing the top 10. Rich Warmingham in 11th, 12th for Andy Shiel. And then as we move further back, it's Richard Gafenku 13th, then Barry Baird, Dave Baker in 15th, then Billy Fletcher in 16th, Keith Camilleri in 17th, then it's Mark Fletcher, Michael Evdoka, and then Ross McFarlane, the race 1 winner. Jake Blackhall, he's going to be starting nearabouts where all those drivers in front of him were earlier on. He's starting in 21st, then Chris Wood 22nd, and then starting at the back in 23rd place is Simon Underhill. Is there more? There might be more, actually.
No, there isn't. That's it.
That is it. 23 cars.
23 cars, and here we go then. We're on the pace lap. See them here. We see Michael Blake. We see your own Kaiser. Said you may have heard, Adam, but if they get a good start, they can really.
Good opportunity for them to get some points.
The very front. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry, you were just closing out again for a little second. But I gathered what you said. Yeah, Small Time Immortal. They've got to really try and make the most of this start here. It's a grid that's worked favourably for them and for most of the Pro-Am field, you must admit, because we've got Bass and Draycott. They're 3rd and 4th in the Pro-Am category. They are right at the front too. Woodhouse and Gray aren't too far away either. I think the only driver that hasn't really the only drivers that haven't benefited from this reverse grid is the likes of Blackhall and Chris Wood. So they are missing in on the party somewhat. They'll be hoping that the reverse grid looks favourably upon them for race 3.
And of course, that's just mainly because they went off, didn't they?
Yeah. Hopefully, this hasn't ruined their entire night.
Hopefully not. See how they get on in coming from the very back of the field, but I mean they've got. know.
He's my keyboard's died as well while we're having issues. I'm trying to get the
It's not great, is it?
trying to get the iRacing sim to disappear, and the keyboard has literally died. So there we go. Unplug it, plug it back in, and there we go. We can now see stuff.
I have absolutely no idea, by the way, why. But never mind. It's a run. It's advantage, Adam, if they can communicate with each other, being able to.
There we go then. Let's see if Small Time can do what we talked about. They're going to be wheel to wheel on the exit of the final corner. Up over the hill we go, and the green lights are on now, and we're racing for round 2 of the day at Road America. And tell you what, the top 3 have left the rest of the field for dead. They're 3 wide going into the first corner, Alex.
Yeah, good start. Let's hope everybody in the back gets a nice clean one. These reverse grid races, that's where it can get a little bit tasty. Oh, there it is in the background.
Oh. Someone in the wall. I'm not sure who that was.
Oh dear. That was
Camilleri?
Woodhouse maybe? Oh, Camilleri. Oh, up the inside and off. Sharon Kaiser's missed the corner. Michael Blake's been hit. He's around 2. Simultal Small Time's advantage has been wiped out in an instant.
Here we go. Oh, it's coming in the middle of the course. Oh dear.
Oh, Blackhall, he's picked up some. He's just gone straight into the side of the car that was parked in the middle of the circuit.
Oh.
But he's carried on nonetheless.
Freitas off. Big. Yeah. Off, I think, as well. Few of them off, actually. Now dropping down the order as well. But what happened there, Adam? I mean, Kaiser in his corner. He's easy to lock up in these. He just missed it, didn't he? Oh, and then Blake tags Freitas round the old goal, and then the other two just get stuck together up the road. See the off into the wall.
Yeah, it's so difficult. You see Kaiser going straight on in front of you, and your eyes are immediately drawn to that. And then
that's exactly what Alex was saying.
Yeah. But what this has all meant then is that Lewis Bibby leads the race. Brandon Tabone is in second. Kaiser and Woodhouse remain. They are first and second in the Pro-Am category, but there is a huge buffer now. There's 1 3/4 seconds between second and third overall as the first lap is completed. Dave Baker's had to come into the pits as well, so problem for him. Camilleri also having to take a trip down the lane. Ninth overall in the Pro-Am category, I should say. That is Draycott that's had to come into the pits too. So a lot of cars in strife in the early going here. Didn't see any of this in race 1.
Big issues.
Yeah.
Sorry, big issues for a number of drivers. And someone disappearing as well. I'd put my money on that being Andy Shield, actually. He's having issues with internet, it seemed like, in the first race. Oh! Up the inside goes the BMW, and there's a few of them off.
There's a Radicals car drifting its way through that corner. That was Billy Fletcher.
A couple of them very sideways as well in front of them, and that was Mike Gray as well, who won the own category in race 1. Oh, look at this KC racing car up the inside. That's Richard Gafenko attacking Richard Warmingham. My money's on Richard.
So going for the carousel to the Big Ben then. Sorry, to the bend. Big Ben.
That's C.
Pit side car. Fletcher remains, and there's still 2x2 in the background there. That's Evdoka and McFarlane still going at it. Kaiser going through the shot there, then Barry Baird and many other cars going at it too, going into Canada corner. But looking at Billy Fletcher, 5th overall. He's 8th. Sorry, 5th
He's
at the
6th
pros.
overall, actually.
Yeah.
And here's Bibby then, under pressure from Brandon Tabone. Tabone in the Ferrari, got a great slipstream on him. He's right there. He's just a couple of tenths behind. But we know turn one's difficult to overtake at. Doesn't make it. It doesn't have a go into turn 1. He probably thinks that the left-hander at the bottom of the hill, turn 5, turn 3, whatever you want to call it, is the best place maybe.
Down the back straight they go then. Let's see if what Brandon can do. This is England v Malta going on here. Let's see if the KT Racing esports car can get through into left-hander. He's going for it.
Up the inside. Oh, that's nice. Ah, super clean. Brandon Tabone into first place, ahead of Lewis Bibby. And he leads the race. Brilliant stuff. The flash of lights, I wondered if that is a bit of well done, you got me on that one, because terrific move, I thought. Look at this, battling the BMWs at him. Fletcher and Warmingham.
Great duel going on here. Loads of cars involved, you're right. Oh!
Fletcher's had to defend the inside from Gafenku. You know he's got the pace. Just behind them is Harrod, McFarlane and Michael Evdoka as well. Into the bend.
Oh, nose to tail.
Oh!
A little bit of the dust getting kicked up there by Fletcher. And it was eaten by Richard Gafenku as we now cut back to the fight for third. Kaiser's doing everything to try and keep
Ben's
up.
lost it!
Goodbye.
Ben's gone into the gravel. Well, that looked the same as the mistake by McFarlane, which almost cost him the win in race 1. This could be a 2-for-1 special for Gafenku, and it is.
On the inside, Fletcher thinks about it, but Barry Baird, who's still got all the muck on the tyres, trying to restore some sort of order here. He's in 8th place now, over the top of the hill.
Look at that slipstreaming train. Fletcher sets the fastest lap of the race so far. 2:09.0, 6 tenths quicker than anyone else. Fletcher's having to defend the inside here. Oh, I see a car on the outside.
Yeah, just
I think that might have been Harrod or McFarlane who you see there. McFarlane looking at the gap for the middle. I wouldn't, but he might.
Oh, and the BMW still just has about some breathing space on the exit there. Is McFarlane going to try and separate these two? He thinks about it. He's now going to the inside.
Oh dear.
It's nice knowing you all. He's probably
It's not
saying,
going to go well. Oh, look at that. Oh, no, it didn't go that well. Sliding around the outside was Fletcher. Ended up going off, comes back on. I think he tried to go full Tokyo drift around the outside there, but it didn't quite work.
oh yeah, McFarlane after all that has just said, see you later, guys. And he's now off on the road up into 7th.
Shield and Evdoka are battling behind them. You see the two Ferraris scrapping away. Here that is, and look at the BMW. There's nothing left of the front of it. Look, of Underhill. Quite extraordinary. Here's Woodhouse then. He's just got past Kaiser. So the battle for the AM category rages on. Woodhouse, Kaiser and Gray then. First, second and third. BMW trying to come through on the Porsche. Into Canada corner. The Ferrari is waiting. Oh, there's a bit of contact, I think. I think Gray went into the back of Kaiser slightly. Slowed up the man who won race 1. See a little bit of damage on the back of Woodhouse's car as well. Look at that BMW, dear me. Seen better days on him, that has.
Yeah. but the handling's atrocious. And I wonder.
But the aero's not great.
Yeah, I wonder this is one of the final few weeks where we'll see this. I wonder, who knows? Maybe we can have the damage model in a couple of weeks for the new build.
It'll be a bit lighter than normal, but yeah, no, it'd be great. It'd be fantastic if we see the damage model in the GT cars. And oh, there goes Shield, disappearing as he is wont to do in this meeting. The TCR is the one I want the damage in. I'll stop people driving like idiots and smashing into everything that moves.
It's
naming absolutely no names at all. RSO. And here's Tabone and Bibi then. If people, this is the point though. If people, you know, the deterrent that a good damage model provides, you know, certainly is a good thing. And no matter what you say about the damage model in the GT cars or the Kia or whatever in the past, and yet some people have criticised it, it did mean that you avoided the contact because you did not want the aero damage. You did not want the that we got at Le Mans, and hopefully that will act as a suitable deterrent to some of the driving when it comes in.
Halfway through this race then, and yeah, there is plenty to talk about with what's happened so far. Biggest mover in the field is Mark Fletcher, 15 places gained. He is up in P3. Brandon Tabone, though, he has still got a relatively comfortable, I say that, half a second in this series probably is a bit cosier than a normal gap. So yeah, Tabone loving life at the moment. 6 places gained for the Maltese. And then Bibi in second.
Yeah, and he's driven a nice race, isn't Tabone, so far. Warming him, trying to stave off Gefenku Gray and Baird. And McFarlane, who's at the back of this group, P10 for him. Well, turn 1, that Kaiser's having to defend the inside, and it's all sort of just piling up a bit here.
They're back at it down the back straight, aren't they? Kaiser on the inside. He was too late on the brakes in lap 1, wasn't he? He's spot on the money this time. Oh! Watch out for McFarlane and Gefenku.
Yeah, that was very close indeed. Very, very close. Oh, they're still going as well. McFarlane trying to make his way through. It's very much one line through a few of these corners, but I wonder if someone's going to have a cheeky look into the chicane, you know, if someone makes a mistake through the carousel.
It's so difficult if you want to try and move into the chicane. If anything, you've got to try and start it on the outside.
Oh, it's all concertinaing up. I was slow for the second part. Almost got an assist from Gefenku. Slam on the brakes. I think still made light contact. Here's and Jake Blackall's just behind this group as well. He's only 1/10 behind McFarlane. That's how McFarlane's having to move to the middle of the track to defend as Kaiser runs a bit wide into Canada Corner through Thunder Valley. Around the outside goes Richard Gefenku. I think he's going to go into 6th place, is he? Gefenku. Is McFarlane trying to follow him through on Kaiser? Yes, and he's got the Dutchman again, and here we go, Adam down the straight. It's all very, very close.
Yeah, I wonder what this Radicals car is going to do with Billy Fletcher. What does he fancy to do in this situation? He's got all of these cars in front of him. Where does he go? It's too wide just in front of him too. They're everywhere as they go into the first corner. It's going to be McFarlane, then it's going to be Blackall just ahead of Kaiser, and now Fletcher's going to be up the inside like a bat up a drain pipe.
Yeah, Kaiser's lost 5 places in a matter of half lap. Yep. That's what happens. You lose one, you get out of your rhythm, you feel lane, you lose momentum, and then Yeah, sitting duck really. Camilleri is back. Now.
Oh. And off goes. Oh, Kaiser's gone. He's literally gone. I don't know where he. I don't know who's vanished to. There he is.
Doesn't seem like he had any. Really sorry, but still got each other on the last lap, Tabone, and I think they do realise as well, Adam, that as you see them in the distance, they've got a great lead, so they don't want to trip over each other. But he's very close into Canada corner. He might have a move into the right-hander.
Wonder if Bibby fancies just staying in second place for the time being. I say that.
Wide.
Yeah, Tabone's run a little bit wide, and now Lewis Bibby is right on the boot lid of the Ferrari. Might fancy his chances into turn 1.
He will not let Lewis Bibby. He's like a dog with Tabone here.
So that's very good, I must admit.
It's been done to happen, hasn't it?
Has he bitten off more than he can chew it? Let's have a look as they come over the timing line. And hopefully this doesn't end as badly as what would happen if you fed a dog chocolate going into the first corner.
Oh dear. Doors feared.
I have a cat, by the way. So too does Alex Simpson. Just throw that into the equation. And 2 cats, there you go. Down the back straight they go then, and Mark Fletcher makes 3 here because this in this scrap going into the left-hander. Car 222 leading the way. He's hoping that he's not sitting in P2 by the time the checkered flag comes out. So with 16 minutes gone, there's not going to be too much long left in this race. In fact, I reckon by the time we get back to the line, we're going to be starting the final lap. So penultimate lap. Brandon Tabone hoping to bring home the money for KC Racing Esports, but maybe we'll be hoping to stop that. And it was a Ferrari that won in race 1. Are we going to have a Ferrari winning in race 2? It's Ferrari versus BMW then. Fifth scrap going on here. This is Pete Harrod, Michael Blake and Chris Wood. Michael Blake's the green car, 3rd in line. He was 2nd on the grid in this one.
And then it all went a bit wrong, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
I was going to say, it cut me off in mid-flow. I was going to say that Bibby was just a whisker behind him when you started talking about cats, but sadly, I got derailed by my own equipment, sadly. So look at that BMW, dear me. Underhill. I'll tell you what he's doing. He's doing well to do as well as he's doing with that there. So he's a lack of a front end.
Yeah. Now this is the fight for best of the rest. This is Rich Warming and Richard Gafenko and Ross McFarlane going on here. It's a Beamer leading the train, then it's 2 Ferraris that are quick in a straight line, and Richard Warming just runs a little bit wide down the exit of the final corner as we cross the line to start what will be the penultimate lap. I thought it would be the final lap, but I think we've got enough time for 2 more.
Yeah, I think we do. And he's having it to the outside here is Richard Gafenko. He is ahead of Warming up. He turns in. Does he get round the outside? Does he make it? He does make it. Terrific stuff. Ross McFarlane smelling a top 5 finish as well for V-Racer. He gets a great exit. He's alongside Warming up. I think he's going to get this move done with the assist by Gafenko, the slipstream of him.
Over the crest and hard on the brakes. Richard Warmingham was 4th a minute ago. Now he's down to 6th. Back with the leaders. And Brandon Tabone is still leading, but it is a very, very marginal lead. There's 2 tenths in it.
Look who's joined the battle.
Yeah, it's Fletcher.
And this is going to be good points for the championship for Mark Fletcher. Camilleri down in 20th, that's for sure. Which means he may think twice about going for this, going for the positions here, but these guys have got a 10-second lead. I mean, if something goes wrong for Fletcher on the final lap, then potentially it's not going to be too damaging, unless it's terminal, of course.
Something would have to go incredibly wrong for Gafencu. Oh, great cutback. Oh. Maybe a dress rehearsal there by Bibby.
Very, very good attempt by Lewis Bibby. Squeeze down the inside of the Ferrari. Fletcher's trying the outside, and it's making Bibby think about which line he takes into the final corner. He doesn't want to get mugged for second here as well.
White flag in the air then for the final time in race 2.
Very close to the wall. Tabone, can he hold on for one more lap? Lewis Bibby round the outside. Is he going to make it stick? He's off onto the grass, but he does it. That's brave. That is very, very brave indeed by Lewis Bibby. That is tremendous.
Full-on slingshot there by Bibby. Straight to the outside.
Oh, he's
neck and neck.
Tabone almost giving Fletcher no space at all. Fletcher is on the outside though. Tabone still has the inside. He still has the slipstream off of Bibby. And he's still late on the brakes. Both of them make the corner beautifully. Without a hint of a lock-up. You can lock these wheels up quite badly in these GTE cars if you're not careful. Bibby leads by half a second on the final lap, Adam. Where's it going to go, do you think?
As long as Bibby doesn't make an error into the bend, he might start sniffing the bubbly here. As
Lewis
Tabone and
Bubbly.
Fletcher. Yeah, Lewis Bubbly. Through the carousel then. What's Tabone got in to try and stop the BMW? He's going to hope to have a good run through the bend here.
Yeah, let's see it then. This will be the proof in the pudding. Got 3.5 tenths. Now this gap will diminish quite a bit. He's trying to weave across the course, but really he's only making himself go a further distance. Into Canada corner. Tabone, he's right with him. He's gone a little bit wide, has he, Tabone? No, he's okay. Is it going to be a move into the final corner, Adam? Who knows?
It's all going to be about the run on the exit. Oh,
they've all cocked it up. They've cocked it up, Bibby. Bibby's going to win the race. Oh, it's very close. Off into the wall goes Fletcher. But this is exactly what I was talking about. Bibby wins, Tabone second. Exactly my point, Adam, that if something did go wrong at the end, they had a big enough gap. And look at this, look at it.
oh,
I'm not sure. I think it's Gafencu just, it says 5/1000ths of a second. And there's another dead heat coming, look.
Yeah, bringing the stream into disrepute as they come across the line.
What an arrow. You're not allowed to finish that close to each other. 1/1000th of a second for, 1/100th of a second between Wood and Howard. 5/1000ths between Gafencu and McFarlane. And Warmingham was less than a tenth behind them.
Well, what a crazy finish that was. And I think basically Tabone got too good of a cutback on the final corner, which meant he was slow on the exit. And then Fletcher ended up in the wall on the outside on the run up the hill. It was a pretty crazy final corner there. But nonetheless, we're all done. And the results are up on the screen. But don't forget, we've still got one more race to go too. Lewis Bibby wins. Brandon Tabone finishes in second, just half a second away. And then Mark Fletcher completing the podium. Richard Gafencu fourth. He was 5/1000ths of a second ahead of Ross McFarlane. And then Rich Warmingham in sixth. Jake Blackhall, remarkably, he was the lowest starting AM, and he finishes as the top AM in race 2. Billy Fletcher in 8th, Michael Evdoka 9th, and then Mike Gray completing the top 10. Then Mark Woodhouse 11th, 12th for Simon Underhill, 13th for Chris Wood. And then just about 12/1000ths of a second behind him, it was Pete Harrod. Michael Blake 15th. The front row start didn't go well at all for him or his teammate Sharon Kaiser for that matter. Andy Scheel, then Miguel Freitas, then it is Kaiser in 18th place. And then the final few finishers are thus 19th, Ethan Bass, 20th for Keith Camilleri, then Dave Baker down there in 21st. Chaz Draycott, he had to make an early visit to the pits, finished in 22nd, and then Barry Baird finishing at the rear in 23rd position. Everybody finished though, which is an achievement in itself. Fast repair helping there, I think. Right, time to get the reverse grid wheel up for the final time tonight for round 28 of the season. Next week we're at Catalonia for the first time in the World GT Championship. That should be good. But first, Alex Simpson, we've got the business of finding out who's going to be starting at the front of the grid here.
Indeed, let's get the wheel onto screen. Give it a spin. Okay, so just a little bit larger than the last one. Basically a full grid reverse with 22.
So the only driver that misses out is poor Barry Baird. It's Chaz Draycott starting on pole for race 3 with the top 5 completed by 21st is, oh God, Dave Baker starting second. That's a tasty front row. Third is Keith Camilleri. Fourth is Ethan Bass, and fifth is Jerome Kaiser. So he could have a good opportunity towards the front again. But yeah, that is a pretty intriguing top 5. Right. We will step aside for a quick break then on the iRacing Esports Network. But when we come back, we'll be on the grid and getting set for round 3 of the day here at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin in the World GT Championship. See you in a bit.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Coming for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And we're back on the iRacing Esports Network for the final race of the day in the World GT Championship here at Road America at Elkhart Lake, hosted an IndyCar race this year, I believe, and here it is now hosting a World GT event. As I'm back with Andrew Woodhouse in the commentary box once again, not Andrew Woodhouse-eck, just Andrew Woodhouse. There is an extra K in there.
That's all right. To be honest, it's like it. To be honest, it's like, oh heck, we can't hear him. That's probably why.
Well, they're starting to grid anyway, and I think the formation will be underway momentarily. It is Chaz Draycott starting on pole, then it's Dave Baker in P2 on the front row with him.
Colleague of ours, by the way, Chaz Draycott.
Yeah.
You say old, but Chaz was talking before you get there in. was talking about maybe coming back and doing a couple more comms for us, so that'd be interesting.
Good.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, he does an awful lot. I'm not too far away from him, in fact. I know he does a lot at Alton Park, Cheshire. Manchester's not in Cheshire, but it's nearby. Dave Baker starting in second, then Keith Camilleri is in third, then Ethan Bass fourth, Jeroen Kaiser, the Dutchman, starting in fifth, then Miguel Freitas sixth, Family Shield seventh, Michael Blake in eighth, ninth is Pete Harrod, and the Team Mad car of Chris Wood is in P10. 11th, Simon Underhill, then it's Mark Woodhouse. 13th is Mike Gray, then it's Michael Evdoka, Billy Fletcher in 15th. Then it's Jake Blackhall, then Rich Warmingham, Ross McFarlane, Richard Gafenku, and Mark Fletcher completing the top 20. And then the final three starters are Brandon Tabone, Lewis Bibby, the race 2 winner, and Barry Baird in 23rd. There were 2 drivers in last night's Sim Races for Mental Health charity event. One was called, their first name was Chad, and then the guy behind, his second name was Holland, and Sam Fitzpatrick saying 2 countries going at it. The only reason why I bring that into the conversation is because Jeroen Kaiser's from the Netherlands, and now we're on the formation lap, getting set for the final race of the day. It has clouded over a little bit here at Road America. A few 3D people in the crowd these days. iRacing is evolving in that department. Plus, we've got the super enthusiastic flagman that's been a welcome addition this season. Surprised the arm doesn't fly off with the vigour that he waves the green flag when we get the race underway. Maybe look out for that when we get going in a couple of minutes' time.
Is that part of the new damage model? Flag. Arm flies off.
His arms come off.
Let's have it.
Let's try and take out the flag. No, that would be interesting. I'm hoping that we see doors flying off and whatnot in the touring cars. That'd be interesting. Speaking of which, there you go. I knew I'd say it. The ARL TCR heads to Interlagos on Thursday, so you do not want to miss that. That's on the Apex race. That is actually on this channel. It's on the iRacing Esports Network Thursday night from 8:15 GMT. So stick around for that.
Some people wouldn't have much of the car left, would they? Really?
No.
Damage model got up. Let's be real. Yeah, Chaz Draycott's got a task ahead of him. I tell you, he's got some of the fastest guys in the championship immediately behind him. But well, he's going to give this a go, I'm sure. Adam, I'll let you take it just in case I cut out again, I'm afraid.
No worries. Here we go then. Now, in race 2, the Simmortal Smart Time drivers didn't put their foot down until they were well out of the final corner. What's Chaz Draycott going to do? He's going to go now. David Baker just about stays with him. But it is a well-timed start from Chaz Draycott. The green lights are on now. The green flagman is going to be waving furiously, and we're underway for the final race of the day here at Road America.
It does look like his arm's about to fly off, doesn't it? But here we go. Oh, Camilleri nearly got run into there. Oh, he's already having a look on Baker. He's just trying to make this move early on.
Onto the back straight we go then. Tell you what, it's the highest we've seen a Brittech car today with Ethan Bass. He's trying to get third away, but it's Ferrari, Porsche, Ferrari, BMW, and then a BMW in sixth and Freitas.
A good battle then between BMW and Ferrari. Freitas has taken Kaiser into that corner, so up to P5 for him. Portuguese. So it's quite well behaved at the back actually, with the lower grid sizes. Seems like we've had less. That's good.
Going into the carousel for the first time as we ride on board with Keith Camilleri, KC Racing Esports, car 26. He's got the Porsche and Baker in front of him. Oh, Dusk kicks up there in the early going. Down to first gear into the bend. Don't see that too often.
No.
And a short on the exit.
That's not really. I think Blackhall. I think Baird, Blackhall.
Yeah.
There's an issue at the back certainly. Maybe not crashed completely, but certainly in some bother. Those guys at the back.
Yeah, Baird, Blackhall, yeah, and Woodhouse, all three of them looked like they were dropping down the order. It hasn't been Blackhall's night. Maybe just racing the even races, Blackhall. Race 1 and race 3 haven't been at all well. Race 2 was actually pretty good. He was the last starter in the Pro-Am category, and then he was the top finisher in race 2. But race 3 looks like normal service has been resumed for him as we complete lap 1. Baker takes the lead into the first corner. The CQR Porsche up the inside of the CQR Evolution Ferrari, and it's Baker that now heads to the field in the final race of the day at Road America. Corvette Coral I see on that sign there on the exit of turn 2 as we go under the Cheese Bridge. Now Keith Camilleri won second place off Chaz Draycott. Chaz is defending as much as he can to the inside, moves a little bit over to the right just to make sure that he doesn't get up the inside, and now here comes Team Mad's Big Al Freitas. Top 5 then. It's Baker, then it's Draycott, then it's Camilleri, then it's Freitas, then it's Bass in 5th. BMW well represented here. In fact, German manufacturers are outnumbering the Ferraris here in the early go. And it's a good race for the Pro-Ams as well, with Draycott, Freitas, Bass and Kaiser all in the top 7 places. So a great opportunity for Ethan Bass to get some good points on the board here too for Brittech. The lone Brittech car in the field today. No Haynes or Danes here, so the Scotsman is on his own, but right now he's trying to get by the Portuguese. That is Miguel Freitas. Scotland versus Portugal going on here. There is an outside chance that those two could meet in the European Championships in the summer. It was the FIA Motorsport Games as well at the weekend. The concept intrigued me as a massive fireworks just gone off on outside.
Yeah, it'd be that.
Is it gunfire? Not too sure.
I was about to say, it'd be that time of the year. Just looks like Bash dropping off the back of Freitas. Freitas showing a bit of pace. I wonder if he's had a lack of perhaps testing for this one, because we don't normally see Freitas struggling like we did in the early races. But done a few races now and seems to be a bit more on it. Great little battle here. Andy Shield right in the thick of it.
Yeah, 2x2 here. This is that's Kaiser on the left and the blue Simulsor Smart Time. He's got the car pinned to the inside, so the Ferrari, there's no way through for that Ferrari on the inside there, the Tech Sense car. But Kaiser at the inside. Shield just about has enough breathing space. Up to the top of the hill they go. And they're still at it. Woody was saying that.
Oh!
No! And off goes Kaiser. Oh dear. Well, he's going to get going again. He was off on the exit of the left-hander before the Corvette bridge in race 2. This time he was off in the left-hander after the Corvette bridge. And the Dutchman drops down to, and the spinning Dutchman drops down to 15th place.
No, so still going. That's the main thing. But yeah, just a bit unfortunate. And yeah, actually, I think it's out of the frying pan, you know. And straight back into the thick of it again here as he's look at the pack that he's in now. It's probably worse than it was.
Oh dear. Yes, a massive tank slapper there going on the exit of the bend. Here is Seeker Evolution's Chaz Draycott in 10th. Sorry, in 2nd. I saw the number 10. Car 10 in P2. And then Keith Cavallari keeping him honest. Dave Baker's having a fantastic race so far. Car 6 has a 1 second advantage after 6 minutes as they go over the top of the hill. So far today it's been Ferrari winning race 1, BMW race 2. Are we going to have Porsche winning race 3?
I think Keith needs to get by this lap so that Baker doesn't disappear a few seconds up the road. But Draycott defending well, straight on drag race between the two Ferraris. Nothing really can go there. Can Freitas take advantage of these two battling though and get the run on both of them onto the second straight? I think he might do. Camilleri getting a little upset with Draycott's defensive driving, but I think there's nothing wrong with it. You know, it's you've got to overtake, haven't you? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, hot under the collar is Camilleri. There was a massive crash for a Ferrari here in real life.
Oh, there was. Yeah, huge. I remember that.
A couple of years ago. Fortunately, we haven't had anything similar here today, but you see Keith is flashing the lights.
2.8 seconds now is that gap. They've lost 1.7 seconds this lap. So that just goes to show how hard they're battling. And all of a sudden, Bass on Freitas.
And Chaz isn't doing anything untoward. He's just putting the car in all the right places, really. And it's starting to frustrate the life out of the KDC Racing Esports car. But you're right, yeah, Brittech has really joined the party here. And Freitas will have to start looking in the rearview mirror. And also, Michael Avdoka isn't too far away from these guys either. He's gained 8 spots already, his car 989.
Yeah, that's not what that pack really wanted, was it? Someone like Avdoka on them. Feel like he might be able to drive through them. But they're all in a train. It becomes very difficult. You can just see him going for a move though. Having a little look, poking his nose out on Bass there. But yeah, Bass running in just a little bit deep just to make sure he's able to defend. Of course, he is under the cosh now through Bill Mitchell Bend.
To the final corner then. This is really becoming a choo-choo Chaslington train. This is up the top of the hill we go. The man from Cheshire is hoping to keep the Mediterranean island of Malta at bay, but I think the waves have arrived, and here comes Keith Camilleri. He's going to go around the outside into turn 1. We saw the BMW pull this move off in race 2, and the Ferrari is able to pull it off as well. So into second place goes Keith Camilleri, and he's got just over half the race to try and close down a 4.2 second lead. Oh, it's now about 3.9, I should say, to Dave Baker at the front of the field, and I wonder if that's an insurmountable gap now, Alec.
Yeah, I mean, we're halfway through. It's gonna be. I mean, he's quick, Camilleri, but so's Baker. I remember Baker finished 6th on the opening race of the meeting, so he's no slouch either. So yeah, it's gonna be a tall order.
Yeah, tail of Baker's night, finished 6th in race 1, had to come to the pits in race 2, benefited from the reverse grid in race 3, started 2nd, got past Chaz Draycott pretty early on, and has really benefited from this fantastic scrap for 2nd place. That's how he's been able to build the gap at the front. He's also been pretty quick too. He holds the fastest lap, 2:06.8, fastest lap of the day, and that was set on the last lap as well. Everybody else doing 2:09s. I think the next quickest car was Evdoka, who we're on board with here. He did a
For the move.
207, and he's at the inside and through, is he?
Oh, still
Yes.
side by side, I think, as we come out. Yeah, good move. Freitas will be happy with that little bit of breathing room that he's got. He needs to try and focus on Draycott, see if he can get by him before Evdoka catches back up.
That's the difficulty with the bend, of course. If you go up the inside of somebody through the left-hander of the chicane, you're then on the outside for the second pass, and I think that's what we thought was going to happen there with Evdoka and Bass there. But regardless, that is the Texense Fitzdyke car through into fifth, and now Freitas, you're right, trying to chase down Draycott. No, fastest lap of the race. What a lap by Dave Baker there, 2:06.8.
Another 7
Camilleri
tenths.
just, yeah, that 4.1. Oh, fastest lap of the race by Richie Gavenku. That's just been usurped. So Ross McFarlane, I think, has just got by Chris Wood too. So movement at the back end of the top 10, and that is Mark Fletcher into the pit lane. So problem for the Radicals Online Motive Cup.
That's a shame after the last race, obviously getting on that podium. Just looking at Gavenku, Wood and McFarlane, they're all very close. Bit of slipstream going on, dare say. Potential move here for Gavenku on the brakes. Pulls it off nicely.
Pretty satisfying if you can get a move done there up the inside, because you know you've well and truly outbraked the person in front of you. Wheel to wheel here. The pink wheels, the unmistakable pink wheels of Billy Fletcher in car 388. He has got Pete Harrod here for company. Saw Pete Harrod at the 24-hour karting back in May. Where's the time gone for that one? Even though that was in May, I think it was still cold, more cold than it is now. Freezing to death for that race.
It was.
But anyway, that's not what he's worried about at the moment. He's worried about 8th place. Just thinking about that event brings a chill on for me. But Billy Fletcher, he wants his place on Andy Shield, and the SimSports Racing USA car might be at the mercy here. Up the inside, he goes. Oh, a little bit of a touch, and the SimSports Racing USA car forced onto the gravel. He's passed by Harrod, and McFarlane's going to go off, trying to get by, and he's not going to get by. He's going to lose a place. Up the inside now goes KC Racing Esports Richard Gavenku. He's now through. Crazy couple of corners there, and now here comes Team Mad's Chris Wood, powering along on the inside. He's got one place, he's got past Shield. Could he get by McFarlane as well before he gets to turn one? It's so close between McFarlane and Gavenku there.
Power and straight line speed of that BMW, really, of the Ferrari, sorry, really showing its sort of advantage here at this circuit with these long straights. I have to say the bend kind of breaks it up a little bit, but yeah, this main straight and this back straight here, all about the Ferrari. Just look at the BMW, it's just not able to keep up even in the slipstream.
Dive bomb. McFarlane tried and failed to get by Chris Wood there. Don't get me wrong, the bend is so far tonight it's proving it's a pretty decent layout, but of course the kink is one of the most challenging corners on this circuit, and we completely miss it out by using the bend. There's literally no runoff area at all on the exit, so if you do make a mess, you are heading straight for the wall, and if you've got it, a fast repair. Chaz Draycott then, can he stay on the podium here at Road America? He's currently the top AM driver, and as things stand, so long as he doesn't have a massive fall off the cliff moment, he should still be on the podium in the Pro-Am category, but he wants to take home with him bronze trophy, the bronze medal for finishing third overall, and right now he's got one of the quickest in the championship, but keep trying to get by him in 4th place here in Michael Evdoka.
5.5 minutes or so to hold on to it.
That's not many laps at all around here, so
Still
Gonna be the
3.7 seconds to the lead. Sorry to cut you off
Yeah.
there. You're right. Yeah, not many at all. 3 laps at most, I would say.
and Camilleri's only taking a couple of tenths at most out of Dave Baker. The gap's at 3.7 seconds now. Last time around, Camilleri was the only driver to go into 206s with a 206.9. Baker doing a 207.1, 207.2 for Evdoka here. This is Andy Scheel, who's been right in the thick of it. Mike Gray now trying to get by. Scheel's trying to stop him. But the XVR Sim Racer car has got a decent exit out of turn 2. Lewis Bibby, the race 2 winner, isn't too far away from this duo either. He's right there, the BMW. Barry Baird there too. He's got the front splitter back on his Beamer and wants some positions in the late going here as Bibby looks at the inside of Andy Scheel on the exit of turn 3.
Doka made it through. Let's see if I can't find that on replay for us. See how it was done. Looks like it was going into turn 5. It doesn't seem that close at this point, but Draft just getting him there, getting him into position where he can be late on the brakes. Just sees him there, gives him the space, which is good. Maybe tries a bit of a cutback, but actually Evdoka sort of planting his car on the apex on the exit just to cover it off. Good move.
Yeah, he was wise to the cutback on the exit. Was Evdoka there? 11 places gained. I think he's a bit too far away to try and take second place off Keith Camilleri, but still, nonetheless, a good comeback through the field there by the TechSense Fitstyle Motorsport driver. 3-car scrap here over P8. This is Pete Harrod, and it's Richard Gafencu, and it's Ross McFarlane. This is the remnants of that scrap we saw earlier. Oh, Ross McFarlane, he's already been off there once. Very nearly went off there again.
Yep, squeezed. I think that's the issue when you try and go around the outside, is it's very easy for the driver just to run you out wide. Oh, Freitas into the wall. That's him just appearing out of nowhere. So obviously just run a little bit wide, and yeah, that curb can sometimes bite you in all sorts of different ways, and I'm guessing that's what's happened there for Freitas.
Yeah, if this was an F1 circuit, they'd be going mental over the curbs here. The driver's already going mental about...
Bibby dropping down the order. What's happened to Bibby?
And off with him was... it was Richard Gafencu, I think, that was off with him too. I did see a KC Racing esports car leaving the scene of the crime. This is it. Oh dear, wow. This could be interesting. So we've got Scheel at the front of the queue there in the grey and gold. Then we've got the TechSense Fitstyle car there of Bibby on the outside, round the outside. Oh,
that's a weird one.
That was strange.
Tiniest little contact on separate there as well, rejoining the circuit.
That was Gafencu and Harrod that were rejoining the track there. Oh, off! It's Kaiser, and Bibby goes through into 16th place. Kaiser really hasn't enjoyed this middle sector here. That's another time he's gone off as we now rejoin Mike Gray, and here is our race leader, Dave Baker, who is currently enjoying life at the front. So as long as he doesn't run out of fuel, CQR Club car is en route to take victory here in the final race of the day. He's got one more lap to go after this one.
I love the sound of that Porsche.
Oh yeah.
It's just such a great car. I have to feel like that's probably the car that sounds the best on the sim. It always drowns out the rest, so I think if there was a way they could ramp up the others so we can get a bit of an even decibel level from everything, we might have a really good sounding grid out there.
Well, it's a sound that we heard plenty of at the Sim Expo, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was.
At that event. Probably going to hear a lot of it more next year, of course, with Porsche continuing their commitment to the eSports Super Cup. At least that's what I've heard anyway. For 2020.
Oh, in the background, Bibby.
Absolutely huge tank stopper there.
And I think Kaiser again, trying to avoid it.
Fortunately, he's gone off where. Oh no!
Couldn't get the
so
car.
narrow.
You really need to have, so many drivers won't have this as well. You need to have a traction control button mapped on the car so that you can quickly whip that off when you need to do a quick spin turn. Because yeah, the traction control quite effective on these GTEs. Does make you feel like a mug sometimes, unfortunately, when you're trying to do a quick turn and you can't. You're like, oh no, I'm going to do a 3-point turn.
I've got the handbrake in the TCR car mapped to the spacebar here, so you can imagine how fun that is.
Yeah, don't accidentally press it while trying to type a message, or you'd be in for a treat.
I think Woody, who was with us earlier, unfortunately he's had to go because of his mic issues. I think he was battling Jim Flanagan. I think Flanagan was braking using the handbrake. He just randomly would spin in front of you. It's hell for another day. Hopefully you don't encounter that on Thursday in the ARL TCR. Dave Baker, he'll be in that as well. But right now he's worrying about getting this Porsche home, and it looks like he's going to do it pretty easily, Alex, as he's coming through the final few corners.
Yeah, no mistakes. 2.6 seconds. Camilleri has been quicker, but they've just been managing that gap. Knew that there was no issues, really. Just needed to keep it tidy, and that's exactly what he's done. And yeah, good night's racing for Baker. Got a win, got his token 6th place. What more could he want?
Ferrari in race 1, BMW race 2, Porsche winning race 3
Yeah,
with
about
Dave
that?
Baker. Yeah, we usually have a Ford here, but Hackerson isn't here today. There you go, Chaz Draycott, top AM driver. It's just a shame that he wasn't on the overall podium. From Bass, second in the AM category. Mike Gray comes across the line to take the final spot on the podium in the AM class. Here comes Miguel Freitas, along with Andy Shield, who has literally been everywhere here today. Brandon Tabone coming across the line. He's going to come home in 16th place with a bit of damage to the left rear or to the right rear of his Ferrari there. Lewis Bibby, the race 2 winner, there he is, coming over the line. Finishes in 17th. Just a few more cars to come across the line now. Kaiser, Underhill, Woodhouse and Fletcher. And then we will be done for the evening. And yeah, of course, next week, the series heads to Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona for the first time. That should be interesting. First time I've seen any sports cars racing around there anyway.
Yeah, me
I've
too,
seen
actually.
Yeah, I've seen a few of the TCR cars around there. Of course, we tested out the TCR car at Catalonia at the Expo. And the ARL TCR series was there as well a couple of weeks ago too. But yeah, the sports cars will be heading there this time. Everyone's done. And the race results are up on the screen. Dave Baker wins 2.4 seconds ahead of Keith Camilleri in the end. Michael Evdoka completes the podium. Chaz Draycott, top AM driver, in 4th. With Ethan Bass, second highest AM, finishing in 5th place overall. Billy Fletcher in 6th. Then Ross McFarlane in 7th. 6 seconds back is Mike Gray. Then it's Chris Woods, then Barry Baird, Rich Warmingham, then Pete Harrod, Richard Gafenku in 13th, then Miguel Freitas in P14. Andy Shield, car 007, finishing in 15th place. Then Brandon Tabone, Lewis Bibby in 17th. Jerome Kaiser spins his way to 18th. Then Simon Underhill 19th and 20th for Mark Woodhouse. Mark Fletcher in 21st place, and then the cars that didn't finish, Jake Blackhall and Michael Blake. Those are the cars that had issues earlier on, and those are the ones that failed to finish. Right then, do we have anyone waiting to come and speak to us? To be fair, they are still finishing their cooldown laps, so yeah. We'll give them a few minutes to gather their thoughts and join us. Reminder that, of course, we'll be back next week, same time, just after 8 o'clock GMT, where the World GT Championship will continue. Series heads, as we've been saying, back across the pond, back to mainland Europe, to Circuit de Catalunya. That should be good. Just checking to see if we're racing on any particular layouts. No, it's just a Grand Prix layout. Watkins Glen after that, on the 18th of November.
Yeah, always a good one.
Montreal. I remember Belle Isle earlier in the season. That was chaotic. This is probably the next best thing to a street circuit. So Montreal should be interesting there for 3 20-minute sprint races. And then we've got the end of season party in Monterey at Laguna Seca to ring the curtain down on the season. That's on the 16th of December. I wonder whose name will be getting put onto the trophy for that one. That's for sure. 3 different winners today, as well as the 3 different manufacturers. Race 3 getting won by Dave Baker, Lewis Bibby victorious in race 2, and then race 1 a great victory for oh dear God, how's my memory left me now? It was might help me out here, Alex. I've completely forgotten who won race 1.
It was Ross.
It was Ross. There we go. V Racer. Sorry, Ross.
I mean, I could have told you, like about 20 seconds before that,
I'm
but
gonna-
I was leaving you. You're the stat
Dear
man. You
God.
know everything, So
It's
I take pleasure in listening to your struggle whenever it happens, because normally you just got everything tip of your tongue. It's like, what? So frustrating. I'm like, yes, I know something he doesn't.
I've got this insane size screen, and I can't. There isn't any space on it for the stats. It's incredible, really. Yeah.
I'll be honest, Adam. I think we got to wrap it up. It's been a few minutes
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
It's been good
Oh,
in the
no.
evening. Just as we said it.
There you go.
Well, there you
Famous
go.
last words.
Let's bring
We
Ethan
got
in,
Ethan.
and then we can
Yeah,
have
we
a
got.
quick chat. And if anyone else pops in, we'll do one more, and then we'll wrap this show up.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll wrap it up. It was a good race 3 for Ethan Bass, and he now joins us to talk about it here in race 3. You were the Lone Ranger when it comes to BritTech here today, Ethan, but I think race 3 was a pretty good result for you.
Yeah, that was actually a good end to the night. Third time it's a charm.
What was it like racing on the bend? Because obviously the kink is challenging in itself, but then you've got to get on the brakes, turn left, and then turn right to get through the bend. It's quite interesting when you're used to taking the kink and then having to do the bend.
Yeah, I completely forgot we were going on this layout. It's lower than it on the night, but I know Road America 90% of this layout, so I was perfectly fine with my pace. I had a good fun.
Yeah, in race 3, you were part of you were part of quite a big train in the early going. Chaz was at the head of it, and there were quite a few big names surrounding you as well. So you and Freitas had a good battle too at one point.
It was definitely good fun. I'm surprised how fast Evoca and Camilleri caught up to us.
Next week, then, next week's Barcelona. First time we're going here in this series. A little bit different here, but there are a few long straights here and at Barcelona too. So I think we're in for another pretty even race meeting because we had all 3 manufacturers, Porsche, Ferrari, and BMW, getting victories here today.
It shouldn't be too bad. I think there's definitely plenty of good places where you can make passes at Barcelona. Maybe a little bit more here. Here you have to kind of wait for a mistake. Barcelona, you can be a little bit more muscular. At least I sort of expect that next time out.
Are we expecting any more of the BritTech team to be at Barcelona next week?
No, currently, I think the BritTechs are focusing more on the TCR car currently.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah,
we had a good night at Monza.
I'm devastated I missed it after seeing the pictures of it being at night too. I'm sad about that.
That was a welcome surprise. That was good fun, apart from the pace car.
Oh, hello. That's me going back to look at the stream. That could be interesting. Fill us in. Go on. I'm intrigued now. You can't leave us on that. You got to tell us what happened with the safety car.
Oh, I think someone unfortunately got tagged into the first chicane and skittled a bunch of people, unfortunately.
Oh, right. Okay.
It happens, I guess. There's plenty of times where into Monza's first chicane that happens. I'm surprised. I'm actually pleasantly surprised there wasn't anything into Ben's chicane. It was all good scrapping there tonight.
Yeah, it was. Well, yeah, thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us, Ethan. Before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Well, like I said, again, I've got to thank Chris Daines from BitTech for taking me on, letting me run this car. I'm having good fun, even if they're not around. I can still give us some good exposure. And we've got to thank BritTech's sponsors for Mark Skies for this lovely racing car. It's probably one of the prettiest cars I've driven, with the whole Union Jack on the roof. SimLabs for the amazing cockpits. They're great bit of kit, amazing amount of adjustability. NGR Next Generation and Joyce Designs.
There you go. Rolls off the tip of the tongue, doesn't it? Ethan, thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us. And yeah, best of luck next week at Barcelona.
Yep, thanks very much for that. I'm kind of getting used to this interview business. I just need a better microphone.
It's all right. It's probably better than Woody's, I think, at the moment. Unfortunately for him. Yeah, chat to you next week, Ethan.
Okay, thanks very much. I'll look forward to watching this broadcast.
Cheers. From Bass there, Alex. We've got 2 drivers remaining: Mark Fletcher for Radicals and Ross McFarlane, the race 1 winner from earlier, waiting to chat.
Let's bring in Ross, our race 1 winner.
Hello.
Hi Ross, welcome. Congrats on that first race. Looked good. Quickest car in practice. Took the pole position. It was pretty close in qualifying, but yeah, in the race you were slowly edging away, and then you made that tiny little mistake. Made it exciting for us right at the end.
Yeah, I just decided to hop in this evening. I haven't been able to race for about, I don't know, maybe 6-7 weeks now, but due to the weather in the east of Scotland, this evening it's been bad enough to give me an opportunity to race. And yeah, I was a bit surprised to see myself at the top of the board. And the race was fairly well managed. Had enough pace really to pull away almost. I know that the 2 behind were having a little scrap, but there wasn't any big moves happening. And then yeah, I took this. I don't know. Maybe I took like a slightly wider entry into the downhill braking, and I hit a bump, and the car just locked up under braking. And yeah, that brought it back together. But luckily, it was enough still to seal the win.
And just talk about your race 2 and 3 as well. I mean, race 2 certainly got back to a reasonable position. We saw you make a few moves and things like that in there. How did sort of race 3 again? Looking at 7th, if my timing screen hasn't completely messed up. So you know, 3 good races tonight. I would think actually you got to be close to being top scorer. Like I said, which is not too shabby if you've not been racing for 7 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think I will be top scorer. I think maybe Michael might get that, which is good for him because he's still in the championship. I'm a long way down, but yeah, the race 2 and 3, 2 was pretty good. I got through fairly cleanly. I got a big hit in the side at the start of the race from I'm not sure, someone went off. I think it was a big crash at the front, and then into that strange little bend section that I my first lap out in practice this afternoon or this evening, I went straight into the cone, so I had no idea where I was going.
Yeah, we saw a few do that in practice.
Yeah, I was a bit confused. But no, I ran into the back of someone. It really does check up there, and I think a lot of people didn't realize quite how much of the curb and the grass you can actually take without getting any incidents or penalties. It took me the first race to realize that. And then the second, yeah, bit of damage on the front, and I had a drag to the line with Richard. Unfortunately, he got me. And race 3 was pretty much the story of make 2 positions, lose 2 positions, make 2 positions, lose 2, and just couldn't get past anyone without getting punted or hit or just netcode. So frustrating, but very happy to have the pace, and kind of enjoyed it. So I might be back next week, I might not. It depends on what's happening, but I did enjoy myself this evening.
Yeah, that'll be good to see you back. Before you head off, anyone want to give a quick shout out to sponsors also?
Just say thanks to V-Racer. I know we're not competing fully in this series anymore. Just, we've had complications with injuries and just work overlapping. But no, as well, thanks to the Tech Sense Fitstag guys, as I always say when I'm in this series. We work together really well. I enjoy racing alongside them. It's a sort of not really a sister team, but we've kind of driven the last 2 seasons together, so
Mhm.
it's great racing with Ben, Lewis, and Michael especially. So thanks to them, and thanks to you guys for the coverage. There was 3 of you, wasn't there? Where did Woody go? He disappeared.
Unfortunately, Woody was having some technical issues with his microphone tonight, so yeah,
Oh
it
dear.
got to a point where it was we had to relieve him.
Oh,
Final
that's
race,
unfortunate.
you couldn't hear him, so
Oh no.
yeah.
Well, thanks to you guys as well.
Thank you very much, mate. Well, we hope to see you in the well, obviously I'll see you Thursday, but yeah, more racing like last round will be great. But yeah,
See
hopefully
ya.
we'll catch you next week. See you then.
Yeah. Cheers, bye.
And Adam, I believe you've now got Mark.
Oh, hello, Mark.
Hello, how are we doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. That was an interesting couple of races, wasn't it?
Yeah, Road America. Well, we said at the beginning of the show it was going to be a lot of line astern racing, really. But yeah, race 3 was pretty interesting for you and Billy.
Yeah, it was. It's getting a bit heated out there, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, you can clearly see that the championship is definitely on the line. But it's one of them things, you know. We had a good pace. We've been practicing all week, and I'll take 2/3. I thought I was doing really well in qualifying until I had a quick toilet stop and came back 4 places from where I thought I was.
Yeah, racing on the bend. What was that like for you? As well, we were just talking to some of the guys there. They were coming out of the carousel and almost completely forgetting that the bend was actually there instead of the kink this week.
Yeah, I really like it. I can't say I've ever driven that layout before, but it seems like a safer layout because you're not going flat out through the kink. But obviously, when you're trying to go too wide into that, well, single file chicane, you know, it gets a bit hectic.
Does it almost take away an overtaking opportunity into Canada corner, or can you still line up a car in front to get a move done into there?
It definitely makes it. Yeah, it does make it harder because you've got to you trust in the diff when you boot it because that outside curb isn't very big, and you saw I guess a couple of times where people got on the grass and then just got a bit of a wiggle on, but then you just defended the inside line into Canada. But no, it was still really good racing though. To be fair, it was really close.
What happened at the end of race 1? We saw you were battling for second place, and then you ended up in the wall just on the run up to the line.
Yeah, I didn't need to do that, but the racer inside of me decided that it was going to be a good idea to, instead of getting 0x race and 5 points, I'm going for second because I want to win. I don't know exactly what happened, but I didn't expect to be put in the wall. But it's it's one of the things. It happens, you know. I just wanted to win, but in hindsight, I said to Billy, I shouldn't have done that. I didn't need to.
It's true. Yeah. Well, I've been known to have a few shenanigans on the run up to the line in the TCR series at Road America. Next week, we go to Catalonia, a bit more runoff area there, so that might provide a bit of different dynamic to the racing. But yeah, what are you looking forward to most about heading to Barcelona?
Buying it first, because as like Belle Isle, I don't own it yet, so it's going to be a week of watching videos and trying to learn the track. But it looks like it's going to be some great racing. You know, there's some big straights and it gets gets complex in places. So I'm looking forward to it. It's certainly making an interested end of the championship. Put it that way.
Definitely is. Yeah, we'll see what you and the guys at Radicals can get up to next week. Before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Yeah, just all the guys at Radicals for all their support again. The guy that builds my setups, Jake Hodgson, I really appreciate it. And everybody really that watches every week, I really appreciate it. And then my personal sponsor, Sim Racing Studios.
There we go. Well, you're the final interviewee of the night, Mark, and yeah, thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us here on the iRacing Esports Network. We'll hopefully speak to you again next week.
Brilliant. Cheers, Alex and Adam.
There you
Good
go.
night.
Cheers. Call me whatever you want.
Well, I'll
It's
remember
fine.
that, Adam.
Cheers. Yeah. Cheers. Well, that is it then from here at Road America. Make sure to join us on the iRacing Esports Network, same time next week, 8 o'clock GMT, where we are in Iberia, in the foothills of the Montserrat Mountains. 3 20-minute sprint races around Circuit de Catalunya, the first time that this series will be heading there. Don't forget that me and Andrew Woodhouse will be back on Thursday for the latest installment of the ARL TCR. Alex Simpson, he's going to be on the track, so that's where he'll be, and we'll be following his and everybody else's progress for that. That is at the same time, just after 8 o'clock GMT for that. But for now, that is it from here at Road America. 3 different manufacturers on the top step of the podium. Ross McFarlane, Lewis Bibby, and Dave Baker, your winners today. I had to check there one more time, Alex. So thanks to Alex for being on the cameras. Thanks to Andrew Woodhouse as well for being around for the first 2 races. His headset and microphone putting pay to him for being here for race 3. And thank you all for watching as well. But from all of us here in the World GT Championship at Road America, bye for now.